This short video covers the syllabus for Finance 3313 for the spring 2020 semester. Hello, my name is John Adams. We'll dispense with the instructor information and get down to some of the key points that I want you to be aware of as you're going through the syllabus. Again, this video is not a substitute for reading the syllabus, but I just want to point out a few of the highlights. First of all, in this class there's going to be 3 midterm exams followed by a comprehensive final exam. The course is divided into modules, and typically there's going to be 2 modules per midterm exam, and then the final exam covers the 3 midterm exams, in other words all 6 modules. The course description is listed here, but ultimately the goal of this course is to help you critically think about business finance situations and business concepts in general. Office hours. Since it's an online course, I don't have fixed office hours. We can meet by appointment, or we can also meet online using Canvas, Skype, or another online meeting forum. And I want to really make this clear. I'm more than happy to meet with students. I'm happy to meet with you no matter what your situation is with the course. It is not an inconvenience. And if you feel like you're struggling or you need help, I really urge you to contact me early on in the semester where we can still do something about it to help you succeed in the course. If you wait till the very end of the semester, we don't have a whole lot to work with. So if you're having any trouble at all, please, I'm here to help you. Reach out and let's find a solution to any situations you may have. Because this is a large class and this isn't my only class, I have a email and discussion policy. Please reserve emails for situations that are personal to you and not general, like homework questions, what's going to be on the exam, those types of questions. Those are covered on the class website. There's also a class discussion board. You can ask there. In fact, on the class discussion board, if you're struggling with a homework problem, go there. Somebody may have already asked a question about that particular homework problem. This is my go-to place for this online course to help students with homework, what's going to be on the exam, all those types of situations, this discussion page. The problem with the emails is that I can get drowned in emails, and it takes a long time to respond to all the emails. So please only send emails if it's something personal that doesn't apply to the class. And a general rule of thumb, if this is something if it's a question that you have that you'd feel comfortable raising your hand in class and having it answered there, that's great for the discussion board. If it's something that you want to talk in private about, that's something for an email. All right, let's get down to a couple of things here. The required text is an e-text. There's also loose leaf value edition, but when you register for My Finance Lab, when you go into Canvas, on the menu on the left hand side, there's a My Lab and Mastering. You can click on there and then you can register for the My Lab Finance. It's also called My Finance Lab. Both terms mean the same thing. If you click on there, you can register for My Finance Lab, and when you register in that, you're going to have access to the e-text, all the homeworks, all the exams, everything, all the graded assignments are done through My Finance Lab, with the exception of the finance tutorial we'll talk about in a little bit. If funds are an issue, you can register now with My Lab Finance, and you get about 2 weeks of access before you have to pay up or enter an access code. The finance tutorial, this is a departmental requirement. All students that go through Finance 3313 have to complete this. This is a spreadsheet based form. You'll get the packet that has a signature page and a CD or DVD, and I know that that's kind of obsolete, so you'll have to find a computer that has a DVD drive so that you can copy those forms into your own laptop if you don't already have a reader. The library has lots of computers that have this. We have computers in the College of Business building that have CD readers. So also, the bookstore is infamous for running out of these things, so I strongly urge you, buy your time value of money spreadsheet packets. It's around $10 to $15, somewhere in that range if I remember correctly. Buy it as soon as possible, because I guarantee if you wait until 2 weeks before the assignments due, this seems like it happens every semester, the bookstore will run out. So get your get your finance tutorial early and then start working on it early, because it takes several hours to complete this. I think most students take between 8 and 10 hours to complete this, so this is not something you want to wait to the last minute and do. In Canvas, inside of each module, we break it down by chapter, and then from in there you can see the reading assignments, and they're also for most chapters except for chapters I think 3, 4, and 13. There are video lectures. Make sure that you watch these video lectures. Do not assume that you can read just the text and be okay, or you can watch just the lectures and be okay. It's going to take both to do well on the exam. You'll also want to pick up a financial calculator really soon, quickly, definitely before we get to chapter 5, but I recommend that you go ahead and get it now. I've got some demos, and in the video lectures I use the Texas Instruments BA2 Plus Professional. You can also get the Texas Instruments BA2 Plus. It's the same functionality. The BA2 Plus I think is around $20, and the Plus Professional is around $40 or $45, something like that. You can also get apps for your phone. The problem with those apps for your phone is that you're not going to really be able to use them for the online testing for the proctors. So go ahead and buy you a physical financial calculator. This is something that you're going to be used for the rest of your career. It's really handy. If you ever want to calculate what a car payment would be, a house payment, or anything like that, even for your personal use. So I really recommend that you get that financial calculator early, and you have that so that you can watch the lectures, read the text with your financial calculator. You can follow along on the problem, so that when test time comes, you're an expert in this calculator and you don't have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out the calculator. Obviously this is an online class and you're going to need a computer and internet access. I want to skip down here to talk about the homework. The homeworks are due almost every almost every Sunday evening at midnight. So just assume that every Sunday at midnight there's going to be a homework assignment that's due. Now, of course, you don't have to wait till Sunday at midnight to submit it. In fact, I recommend that you try to get them done before the end of day Friday, so that if you have questions or need help, you can get that. There is help in the College of Business building in the Finance Tutorial Lab there on the first floor. It's that Financial Markets Laboratory. Inside there's tutors that can help you with the homework assignments, but they're only there Monday through Friday, roughly 8 to 5 p.m. So don't wait until the weekend to start the homework, because you may not be able to access any help. And these folks are also available via email, and I'll share that later on in another announcement, but they typically don't answer their emails on the weekends. You have to score at least 90% before moving on to the next chapter in homework. So, for example, you have to score 90% on homework 1 before you can complete homework 2, and you have to have a 90% on all the homeworks for each module before you can move on to taking the exam. So if you haven't completed the homework, you're not going to be able to take the exam. And the problem with that is, if it takes you 2 extra days to do the homework, and you, as a result, you take the midterm exam 2 days late, there's a 5% per day penalty on those late submissions. So let's avoid that. Get to work early on that homework and score at least 90%. You can also go back anytime during the semester and rework those homework assignments to increase your grade. So there's really no reason that you don't have 100% average on your homework grade. Time value of money tutorial, it has the same thing. There's a 5% per day penalties applied as well. The grading scale, I don't know why this PDF messed up here on the time value of money spreadsheet. The final exam counts for 25% of your grade. There's 3 midterm exams worth 15% of your grade each. We take the average of the 3, that's 45% of your grade. Homework counts 20%, and that time value of money spreadsheet is 10%. We use a percentile ranking system in this course to target a class GPA of 2.2. Now, think of this class percentile ranking as a curve. So for example, if you were in the 85th percentile, if you're in the 85th to 100th percentile, that means you scored in the top 15% of the class, you'll get an A. If you're in that 60th to 84.9 percentile, you'll receive a B, and so on. So for example, a student in the 35th percentile, between 25 and 59.9 here, that means you scored better than 35% of the class, and you'll get a C. Now these percentiles are the lower bounds of the grade distribution. Let me explain with an example. Let's say that you got a 90% in the class. Well, under a traditional 90 to 100, that's an A. Well, whatever is higher, your percentile grading or your traditional grading, that's the grade that you're going to get. So the percentile grading only raises your grade. It never lowers your grade. And if you got between a 70 and 80, which is typically a C range, you'd get a C. Again, think of this percentile ranking as a curve. Okay, the tests will all be online in my finance lab, and typically you have 75 minutes for them, except for the final exam, which you have 145. And you can also, for each one of the exams, you can use one 4x6 index card with handwritten, not computer generated, not computer printed, but handwritten notes front and back. And you can have a financial calculator and some scratch paper. No additional materials are allowed on the exams. Since this is an online class, we'll be using ProctorU, and I'll get some information out on that later on. Some of it's here. Basically, it's a paid proctoring service. I believe the fee is somewhere around $20 to take an exam. And if you wait until just a couple of days before the exam, I think there's like a $5 fee if you wait. If you take the exam within 72 hours of when you register for it. So again, I'll get that later on. We'll also offer, and I don't have the dates or the location yet, for each exam and the final exam, for each midterm and the final exam, I'll have a free proctoring opportunity, so you can come to campus, take the exam on campus. Typically that's going to be on a Wednesday evening. I just don't know room availability yet, so I can't nail that down, but I'll be sharing that as we get closer to each one of the exams. So here in the syllabus, we've got the coverage and the due date. So this first week, we're hitting the ground running pretty hard. We've got 2 chapters to cover in the first week, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. These are pretty easy reads, and the homework is pretty darn short for each one of these chapters, so that's not too much. But before you can start doing even Chapter 1, there's a syllabus test on my finance lab, and the purpose of that test is to make sure, first of all, that your browser is correctly configured for this course, because it's possible to have your browser set up where you can do the homework but you can't do the exams. So we want to make sure that your browser is correctly set up. Okay, you got the dates here for the midterms, and you'll notice here, for example, midterm 1 exam, there's a range of dates, so February the 17th to the 21st. Basically, the exam starts being available Monday at 8 a.m. and runs through Friday at 5 p.m. So those are the availabilities. As long as you can take it somewhere in that window, you're golden. And the time value of money tutorial, again, is that is due on April the 23rd. And the same thing with the midterm exams. The final exam, however, there's no window for that. That is May the 10th at 7 p.m. This is a departmental final exam, so everybody in all the different sections, online and in person, are taking the exam at the same time. We can't make any exceptions to this. So just mark your calendars right now for May the 10th so that you do not have to miss this exam. It seems like every semester somebody say, oh, I've got to work or something like that, like a week before the final exam. Make arrangements today to be free on May the 10th to take that exam. One more thing I want to talk about, looking for it. Here we go. Academic integrity and the UT Arlington Honor Code. Cheating hasn't really been a big issue in this class, especially for the online sections, but it's always possible in every semester there's an isolated incident or two. If you think someone's cheating, you should turn this in. Because of the percentile grading, every student that cheats and earns a passing grade because of cheating, because you're graded on a percentile relative to everyone else, that means one honest student who otherwise passed will fail. So let's all work together to stamp out any cheating or anything like that. Again, this hasn't really been a big issue in the past, but we'd like to have 0 instances of cheating this semester. All right. Have a great semester and get started on those assignments.